Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well today. Shout out to all the subscribers. As always, thanks to anybody new. Gratitude to you. Let's talk about this fight, AJ versus Francis Ngannou, coming this Friday, the 8th of March. Interesting one on a Friday, but you know, nonetheless, this is a video about the keys to victory, because you know, watching this fight and watching Ngannou fight against Fury, it's quite still, I know we've got 10 rounds of footage, but it just, I can't help but think Fury was so underprepared. And Ngannou obviously surprised so many of us, including me. I thought Fury would be easily outboxing him. And obviously I didn't expect him to come in so undercooked and so underprepared and out of shape. But you know, you do have to give a lot of credit to Ngannou. He was able to keep his shape really well. I still thought he just about lost, to be honest with you. I didn't have a problem if you did have him winning by like a round, but the people saying he was robbed, I disagree with that. I think because of the main parts of the fight, the knockdown and the physicality he showed in like the 8th round, and just his winning of the event, I guess, you know, I think people maybe put him as a victor. But look, he deserved the win of the story for sure, because that was a tremendous performance. His first ever professional fight. Now it's his second professional fight, but he's in there with someone that will be prepared and can punch a lot harder than Tyson Fury. And you know, I think to me the key for AJ, obviously the jab. A lot of people have spoken about that, but I'm going to elaborate on that a little bit right now. Yeah, the jab is 100% AJ's key to victory. It's the most important punch in boxing. And what did he say in his post-fight victory against Joseph Parker about a jab taking you around the world? Something like that, where, you know, AJ's trying to be a bit more cerebral in his boxing. And he's look, 10, 11, 12 months ago, I was backing AJ. You can go and watch the videos, because I understood how determined he was to get better, and I saw a spirit in him, and I kept believing. And then I fought like when he fought Hellenius, I was like, oh, I don't know anymore, I don't know, but I'm still gonna. I can't remember exactly what I said, but a year ago I was like, no, AJ's gonna be all right. He's got that special unteachable skill where he wants to get the best out of himself, and I've got so much respect for that. And here he is now, you know, on, you know, the brink of becoming, or maybe getting closer to that old AJ. It might be a better version than the old AJ, you know, to be honest with you. If he is able to bring out and, you know, exercise those demons and get his confidence all the way back, and keep, because he's learning so much. And you know, in a recent interview, I know he's been watching videos of old Cuban gold medalists. I'd never heard of the guy. I forgot his name actually. Tiafimo, something like that. I'll put it up on the screen, but I had to go and watch some footage, and I was like, okay, AJ's using his, like he was talking about using his length and using his jab. I'm expecting him to really use his jab in an educated fashion like Ngannou's never seen before in his life. Meaning, you know, I don't want to see just AJ just using one type of jab. You know, slow the velocity down, mix it up, jab to the head, jab to the body, feint with the jab, come through with the right hand, feint, double the, you know, double jab, do the first one a little slower, come in harder with the second one. Ngannou's never gonna see anything like this. Do you know what I mean? Probe with the jab a little bit, and you know, that just use an educated jab. Which, you know, I'm not saying that AJ's is particularly educated, but I think it could come, and it'd be no better place to use it than on Friday, I think. But you know, at the very least, if his conventional straight jab is working, stick with that. Keep it simple and just get your confidence through that. And I think eventually I'll get onto the prediction in a bit about what I think will happen. But I think for AJ, use his jab in an educated fashion if he needs to, but use it more than he's used, and just, you know, the rest will take care of itself at the end of the day. You know, people will talk about knockouts, and knockouts come from using a good jab. You open up your opponent. I wonder how Ngannou's going to react when he gets a stiff, constant, repeated, hard AJ jab in his mouth. Jab him everywhere. Jab him to the chest, jab him to the belly, feint a little bit. If I'm trying to hear, I'm looking at your eyes and I'm jabbing to the stomach. Then I look at the stomach, jab to the head. Ngannou's probably not going to have dealt with stuff like that. You know, AJ's capable of doing stuff like this. It's not that complicated. It's just you've got to have the right confidence to do it and in the right situation. And Ben Davison, I made a video recently about him, and I think he's been great. And I think the best word I can think of Ben Davison is he's his therapist. Right? He's AJ's therapist right now. And he's just, I'll be really curious to see what game plan he puts together, because I know he's like mentioned, well, AJ's a unit, he should go out knocking people out. What's he going to do now when he does have a massive guy, powerful, serious threat in front of him? Because you would think that would probably work, but is that the best tactic, to go out there and just wipe him out? Maybe, we'll see. I personally think he should be a bit more cautious, use his jab and wait for the opportunities to come, because they will come. Another key for victory for me with AJ is to keep those punches straight with the straight jab and the right hand. If you look at Ngannou, where he was fighting Fury, he had his right hand glued to his chin, and then he had his lead hand here like this, where he was trying to hook Fury, or, you know, he's using a jab, but there's a lot of space in the middle here. You know, usually if you're like this, there's not as much room, but when you're like this, there's plenty of room. And I'll show you a clip that Fury landed a beautiful right hand, but it was actually a left hook and then a straight right, and that was like a quick pop, and that's there.
See if he can draw him in here. Instead, it's the right hand behind the jab.
That left-right combination right there from Tyson Fury. Once again, the setup punch. That left hand's move.
If you're AJ, for me, step in, bam, bam, straight punches. I think a big part of why Fury didn't have as much success is because he had these wiry, like, you know, his limbs are kind of wide, and he's like trajectory from an up jab like that, trying to get to a higher position when Ngannou's hands are like this, and they're out here. Fury's wider game wasn't really working. He was sloppy. But the straighter, sharper punches down the middle, I think, are there for AJ. One last thing for AJ is don't get overconfident, because it is easy to. You just got to remember, I think there were moments where he looked like he was feeling himself quite a bit in the Wallen fight, and that was great because the threat wasn't really there, you know. And I think the threat is still always there with Ngannou. Look, he can punch really hard, and he's a really strong guy, and he's probably got a really good chin. He got elbowed in the face by Fury and barely budged. And look, he's just, when you have a big physical man like that, he's going to be a threat for however long. So I would say don't get overconfident, even if you are having success. Keep doing what you're doing, jabbing, opening them up. And I think AJ's going to stop Ngannou late. I think it'll probably be about 8 and 10. If it was a 12-round fight, maybe a bit later. But I do think he'll get the stoppage. I do. I think he's just going to have a bit of a field day with that jab. And I think, you know, Ngannou is just not going to know what to do when he gets pelted in the face by these hard jabs. But keys to victory for Ngannou. Look, it's hard to really even, I would say, if you're talking about what to do pre-fight, I would say to try and get your jab defense up. Which, not that it's bad, but like he's going to have to learn how to parry jabs and maybe step back a little bit, because I think AJ's going to overload him with jabs. And, you know, I think Ngannou did a pretty good job against supposedly a better jabber. You know, Fury's got a great jab, but he just looked, because he wasn't in shape, he wasn't sharp. And you go to the gym to get sharp, not to get in shape. And I think Fury barely went to the gym, but you could see it in his punch sharpness. So, you know, Ngannou was able to deal with that. He wasn't really falling for the feints, which was very impressive. You know, Fury's feint game wasn't working whatsoever, but I think, you know, Ngannou, I think his physicality, and if there's opportunities to be physical and, you know, just, I don't want to say dirty, but just rough AJ up if you can, if the opportunity presents itself and you are there, just hit him anywhere. Hit him wherever you can, you know, hit him on the side of it's not on the back of the head, but just, I'm trying to keep, not dirty, just physical, rough, you know, bully him a little bit. And that's, you know, if you can. And like I said, I would get my jab defense tight with Ngannou and just try. I mean, look, it's how many months ago was the Fury fight? A few months ago. I don't know what else. It's such a big ask for somebody to do what he's doing. It's really incredible. Win, lose or draw, what he's doing is absolutely incredible. But I think I think fighting a boxer that's going to be in shape with more power, I think we're going to see the difference in this fight. And I think AJ's got a real opportunity to, you know, make the gap, dare I say, move past Fury, if depending on how he looks against Usyk. Obviously, look, that would be a tremendous fight, you know, down the line, if Fury fights AJ, if they do come through their wins, which, you know, at the moment I would favor Usyk right now, because he's just been out of shape for too long. Again, you go to the gym to get sharp, not to get in shape, and I think Fury's still trying to get in shape, you know, not to mention his eye. But that's another video. Ngannou, yeah, I had to really think about this and the keys to victory. I just think, you know, try to plan for that jab, try to get your jab defense up a little bit. And one more thing about obviously being physical, but try to not be too predictable with the counters. Obviously that left hook was a great shot and he caught, but we know about it now. AJ's team are going to know about that. So are you able to counter with anything else? Because if you're too predictable, because he was trying to counter with that left hook a lot, and again it was successful, but you know, they didn't see that coming, we didn't see that coming, but I think we are going to now, and I think the team are going to know about that. So does he have any other counter punches up his sleeve? If he does, I would be practicing that, try and get creative, but you know, I'm not advising him to start becoming a slick counter puncher. I didn't really know what else to say about the keys to victory to Ngannou, because it's going to be really tough, because he just doesn't have the time to get better. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you've got something that you thought might be interesting, the key to victory. Leave it in the comments. If you are new, hit the subscribe button, and if you enjoyed the video from here, hit the like button. I am out of here. It's Wednesday. It's a gloomy day here in New York City. I hope you have a great week. Peace. I'm out.